Samuel de Champlain est né en 1574 à Brouage, Belgique. Il n'avait ni frère et ni sœur, mais il avait deux parents pendant l'enfance. De Champlain n'est pas allé à l'école, mais il a été instruit par les navigateurs qui lui a appris à lire les cartes. Il a servi dans l'armée du roi Henri IV et a gagné beaucoup de batailles. Il était bien instruit et il a étudié la cartographie, la navigation, l'astronomie et les mathématiques. Il parlait français. En 1608, de Champlain a fondé un petit fort sur ce que est maintenant connu comme le fleuve Saint-Laurent. Cet établissement est devenu la grande ville de Québec.
C'est le rap de Samuel Champlain, aïe, bra bra. Le roi avait une réunion avec Monsieur Champlain. Il y avait beaucoup de la nourriture comme le pain et vin. Le roi a dit je veux que tu ailles aux Nouvelles-France pour agrandir nos territoires. On doit avoir une renaissance. Samuel part en bateau. Le roi lui donne un beau cadeau. C'est un manteau pour te garder chaud. C'est la bonne qualité, c'est doux sur ton peau. Maintenant il voyage sur l'océan pendant 5 mois. Une fois quelqu'un était malade parce qu'il ne mangeait pas beaucoup de la salade.
Dans l'hiver de 1615, Champlain a été blessé par une flèche de natifs et a été forcé de vivre dans un camp indien. Pour sa grande exploration, un grand lac a été nommé en son honneur. Il a également exploré plus au sud dans la région de Nouvelle-Angleterre, près du Cape Cod aux États-Unis d'Amérique. Il est mort le 25 décembre 1635 au Québec.
Often called the father of New France, Samuel de Champlain was a French explorer and navigator who mapped much of what is now Canada.
Samuel de Champlain is known primarily for having founded the city of Quebec, for also exploring and mapping the Great Lakes region.
Samuel de Champlain was born in Brouage, France in 1567 and learned the skills of a mariner from his father, a ship captain. Later, Champlain demonstrated his skills as a navigator in his own travels to the West Indies and Central America.
In 1603, Samuel de Champlain sailed to North America for the first time. He sailed as an observer on the voyage of François Gravé Dupont to report back to Henry IV. They traveled up the St. Lawrence Seaway, they made contact with the Native Americans, they reconnoitered for the fur trade, and then essentially they returned.
The following year, Champlain was asked to be the geographer for another French expedition to North America. This time he spent 3 years mapping what is now northeastern Canada and founded the city of Quebec in 1608.
Champlain was a very talented explorer, and among the things that he finds is the body of water that we now refer to as Lake Champlain.
After the settlement of Quebec, Samuel de Champlain realized that he needed the help of the Huron in order for the settlement to survive, and for the Huron, that meant a military alliance. So for Samuel de Champlain, that required fighting the Iroquois alongside the Huron.
After helping the Huron, Champlain returned to France and married Hélène Boulay in 1610, who at only 13 was 30 years his junior. Champlain then returned to North America to continue his explorations up the St. Lawrence River.
After going back and forth across the Atlantic several times, Champlain finally convinced some hardy French men and women to go and settle on the banks of the St. Lawrence River, and these people became the founders of the modern colony of New France, which we now call Canada.
In in 1611, he explored further up the St. Lawrence River and settled the site of what becomes the city of Montreal.
King Louis XIII cut Champlain's explorations short when he ordered him to return to Quebec and act as its administrator. When the English captured Quebec in 1629, Champlain was taken to England as a prisoner of war.
Quebec was restored to France under the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye, and Samuel de Champlain was appointed as the lieutenant governor of the colony and able to return to Canada.
After spending 40 years of his life trying to establish French settlements in the New World, Samuel de Champlain died on Christmas Day, 1635, in the city he founded, Quebec.